Tony from Cali, bringing it to you, and this is what we do. Yeah, can you hear me now? Tony from Cali bringing you the products that you all been interested in all this time. Right now we got the brick phone, gold-plated brick phone with the crazer, not the razor, but the crazer and the razor and the gold plation all put together for you for only a little price of whatever. That's what I'm talking about. We talking about promoting your product, making it happen, or just promoting your party. If you got a party right now and you want it to happen, well, I'm the main man. It's gonna make it happen for you. You know what I'm saying? I got the gold on, as you can see. Always running with the gold. But if you don't want me to wear the gold, I can wear something else. We talking about cowboy outfits, medieval outfits, whatever your party caters to. That's what we'll cater to. Tony from Cali, the promoter. You know what I'm saying? Promoter, extraordinary entrepreneur. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know me as already being the technical guy behind the scenes. Computer animation, three-dimensional holographic, digital video broadcast, special effects engineer / senior audio visual engineering technician for the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino Hotel / promoter and promotion producer for KTFC, Tony from Cali, reality, and a little bit more. But if you need me to promote your party, you need me to be there, bam, that's what I'm doing. Boom. Just chilling and enjoying life, you know what I'm saying? Jamaica funk. Whatever the party is, whatever the music is about, whatever the people are about, I'm going to talk about it because that's what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk about whatever you want me to talk about. I'm going to talk about it. So, you know what I'm saying? Hire me, your main man, Tony from Cali, reality. Here I am. If you need me, call Tony from Cali, reality, in Vegas.
Hey everybody, your boy Tony from Cali. Once again, I'm here, I'm there. Today is the 24th. I told you the video was going to be on the 24th. This is Bro Life. We're going to call it World Broadcast News, and we're calling it back in 85, something like that. Back in 85, where we back, okay? What y'all saw earlier was me, the younger me. We're looking at probably 2005-ish. You know, 2005, but in 1985, this is what this is all about. 1985, if I was broadcasting in 1985, which I was broadcasting in 85, I wasn't broadcasting professional, but if I was broadcasting in 1985, that's how I would have looked. You see my car, that would have been my station wagon. I actually had a 1978 station wagon, but if I would have had a 1985 station wagon, that's the way it would have looked. A 1985 station wagon with wood grain. Yeah, I'm keeping it real. Keeping it real. So I wanted to put this video out to give you guys a little flashback. We got Arco Arena in the background. You see Arco Arena. You see the 1985 station wagon or wood grain. We got the Ikegami camera. That's the Ikegami ITC, I believe, ITC 350. That's actually from 1980. But the camera crew is from 1985, okay? They're from 1985, but the actual Ikegami camera is from 1980. I actually have it right here, so we're going to show you that real quick. And I did upgrade it, so it does work in HD. This is what the camera looks like. This is the Ikegami ITC 350. This is the baby. And if you guys want to know how I upgraded it, I just did a little quick bracket maneuver here, and it's not all perfect. Let me do a little adjustment real quick, and I'll show you what I did to upgrade this to HD. So basically, if I put this on my shoulder, which is a shoulder mount type of camera, I got another camera in front right here, what you see. I just turned it on. Did it turn on? Ah, no, it didn't turn on. I didn't hit the right button. Okay, there we go. You see it rotating there a little bit. There it is. And this would be my HD camera that you see in the front. It's a small, this is the Osmo camera, and this is what I would use for my HD camera. And that's what I did. I just kind of bracketed it in. So basically now I'm ready to shoot HD. I can shoot 4K. This camera actually shoots 4K now, HD. Let me flip the screen around again. Y'all just bear with me for a minute. Okay, flip the screen around. And I don't know if you can actually see the screen when I go in a little bit, but I would actually be shooting in HD with this camera right now, or either 4K. So the camera is ready to shoot in 4K, and I also have microphone input where I can plug in microphone in the back here, and then I could run that actually through to the Osmo or whatever I want to do. I could run a wired mic, and that's what we're going to do next. We're going to be adding a microphone on here because there's not a microphone on here. The Osmo has a microphone, but we're going to put a shotgun microphone on here, and we're going to do a couple other things, maybe even a matte box and a couple other things. We haven't even added a battery yet. Once we add a battery, it's going to be really nice. But this is the big Ikegami camera from 1980. Actually, this is 81. This is 1981, I believe. 1981. And so I'm keeping it real. But the flashback for 1985, I've been telling you guys, I've been talking about 1985 for a long time. Actually, today I actually watched I Dream of Jeannie. They've actually made an I Dream of Jeannie movie that came out in 1985. I was just kind of like running through 1985 stuff, and all of a sudden there's a 1985 movie of I Dream of Jeannie. It says 15 years after I Dream of Jeannie, or something like that. Check it out. It's pretty good. So I was watching that. But in 1985, I'm gonna show you guys one of the rare cameras. And this video is not all about cameras. So if you're watching it and you say, hey, it's all about cameras, I'm gonna turn off. Don't turn it off, because like I said, like and subscribe, because we're gonna talk about some other things too. This is the Kodak camera from 1985. So in 1985, you know, I didn't have this in 1985, but I would have been using something like this, or you might have been using something like this. And this is a cool camera. And it's got a small, you see a small VTR, which is actually a VCR. We call it a VCR or VTR. If you go back to my Kodak episode, this actually detaches like so. Okay. So this was a very, very, very rare unit. And yeah, I got actually 2 of these, which is kind of cool. And I actually have the receiver and everything, but it attaches and then pops back in, unlocks back in, and you're ready to go. So this would be the 1985 Kodak version. Kodak came out with a 1985 camcorder, which was cool. And this one did rewind and fast forward and everything, which is great, because a lot of the cameras did not have rewind, fast forward, or playback in 1985. And a lot of the cameras in 1985 also had to have big VCRs that you had to carry around. So you've seen my other episodes. If you haven't, check them out, about the big VCRs that you had to carry around. So that's enough on that. This is called the MVS system. It was called MVS because it was called the Kodak Modular Video System. Kodak Modular Video System. And I know we don't have the best camera work here. Don't worry about all that. We're using the GoPro 6 right now to actually record. So just letting you guys know. A lot of people want to know what kind of cameras I'm using. Another camera that would have been used in 1985, one of my favorites, is the Beta, Super Beta. This is a 660 Super Beta. Okay, 1985, everybody. I'm letting you know, I didn't have this camera either in 1985. I would have loved to have this camera in 1985. Of course, it was very pricey in 1985. This camera would have cost you probably about $2,000. This is the Super Beta, and this camera does not even have rewind. You can't rewind. I think it was only a player camera. I could be wrong. I don't see any buttons on here that says rewind or play. I think you could only film with this, and then you had to take it and put it in a beta deck. So this is this is a good example of a camera that does not have rewind or fast forward or playback. This is the Super Beta. Okay. We're going to fix this baby up a little bit too. We're actually going to make this one high definition on one of our next episodes, maybe. I might build a matte box for it and build a whole rig. I think this will be a cool looking camera. It's one of my favorite cameras. And this is from once again, 1985. And you couldn't even rewind. You couldn't play back the tape. You couldn't watch back your movies or none of that kind of stuff. You had to have a player. You had to have a VCR. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of show you that. I got one more. Like I said, this is not a camera episode. I'm not going to go into a bunch of camera episodes. And of course, my old trusty Quasar. You've seen this on all the other episodes, one of the other episodes. This is what I actually had. This one came out in 1986. So I'm just going to kind of like give you a little bonus. This is 1986. It's 1985. This is 1986. So I'm taking it back to 1985, talking about a little 1985. But this one has fast forward, rewind. All your buttons are up at the top here. And this was a full VHS tape. By the way, the other one was a beta tape, and the one before that was a I think it was a VHS-C. It was either VHS-C or 8mm. Let me double check it real quick. I'll try to give you guys some accurate information. Like I said, a lot of times, my camera moving around here, I don't always have the right information to give you. I think this one was 8mm. Yeah, Kodak was the 8mm. Okay, enough of that. Enough of the cameras. You guys seen the Ikegami Ikegami. Remember that name, Ikegami, because a lot of people don't know Ikegami. Let me just tell you a little history about Ikegami. Ikegami was a professional ENG they were professional ENG cameras, electronic news gathering. So if you had an Ikegami camera back in 1985, wow, you were with the big boys. You were rolling with the big boys. I wasn't rolling with the big boys back then. I'm keeping it real. I wasn't rolling with the big boys. I had like either probably an RCA. I think I either had an RCA or the Technicolor camera, which I told you before. Technicolor camera with the Technicolor little video cassette. That's what I had back in 1985. I didn't have the big boy stuff yet. And I had a lot of RCA cameras and stuff like that. RCA was pretty big back then too. But if you were dealing with the big professionals, it was Ikegami, or you might have had a Sony, or you might have had, what's the other one? Ampex. Ampex was big. They were professional. Ampex and Bosch, believe it or not, Bosch. Bosch make a lot of power tools and things like that, but they were pretty leading big time back then. Hitachi also had some professional cameras. I got a Hitachi camera sitting here. I think that one's from 1981. I should pull it down. It's the VP10, the F. I don't want to pull it down, but it was a professional camera that came out in the 80s too. So I could pull that one down. That's a professional camera. I'm looking at a couple of my professional cameras. I got a couple still here. We're going to be taking them back to the Bro-Caster. We took most of the cameras back to the Bro-Caster, so I'm not able to show you all the cameras right now. But happy, once again, December 24th, 2023. Okay, this is happy 24th, taking it back to 1985. That's what I'm trying to show you guys today. In this little reminiscing thing of 1985. You saw me in 1985 with the jewelry, with the gold, with the bling bling, with the gold phone. Yeah. In 1985, I really wasn't looking like that. That's like from actually 2005. But I just kind of captured that era because I always liked that era, you know. In 1985, there was a lot of things happening. I was actually, 1985, I was doing a lot of things. So we ain't gonna get all into the things I was doing, but I was doing a lot of things. I can't even remember everything I was working for. I will tell you this. I worked for a company called California TV and Radio. They were located on Del Paso Boulevard, and it was an electronic repair, not repair shop, hobby shop, parts store. I worked there. I was like the first African American to work there. And yeah, so I'm kind of like in the history if you want to really look at me. I was the first African American to work at that store during that period of time. And that was around 80, it might have been 85 to 86 or something like that. I can't remember, but I worked at California TV and Radio. Remember that name. It's no longer there anymore. It later on got renamed to Marvac Electronics. Marvac Electronics. I worked there when it was Marvacs too. So I got there when it was renamed as well. And I was the first African American to work there, and I was the youngest to work there during that period of time. That was pretty impressive for me, myself, you know. And I'm not telling you this to try to impress you or anything like that, but most of the guys I were working with at that time, these guys were like in their 50s and 60s and even 70s. I remember Walt, he was one of my favorite guys, and he taught me a lot about vacuum tubes and things like that, because I was selling vacuum tubes. I don't know, you guys don't know what that is. Resistors, transistors, IC chips, all kinds of different circuit boards, all kinds of stuff like that. And it was an electronic store, and I was selling all that type of stuff, and a lot of car audio. I did a lot of car audio. They put me in car audio because I actually used to do installs all the time. I used to install car systems, so I knew a lot about amplifiers and preamps and all kinds of stuff. So I sold a lot of car amplifier systems and amplifiers and woofers and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I was mainly like in the car audio, but I did sell vacuum tubes. I sold resistors, transistors, whatever you wanted to buy. I was kind of like the all around. I was a young guy doing my thing. It's kind of remarkable. It's kind of, it just brings back memories. But Marvac Electronics, remember that California TV and Radio, those, I think Marvac maybe still exists in other places, but that store was actually taken over. I don't know when it got taken over. Now it's a grocery store. Yeah, it's a grocery store on Del Paso Boulevard. I've never been in there since it's a grocery store. I'm probably going to need to check it out one of these days. So I'm not taking up a lot of your time today because I know that everybody's doing their holiday shopping and doing all this type of stuff. I don't celebrate the holiday, so I'm not getting all into the holiday, but I will tell you, have a great day. That's the main thing. Have a great day. Have a wonderful day. Put God first. I always tell everybody that, put God first. Trust in the Lord. I trust in the Lord. And that's what this video is about too. Just kind of looking at a lot of things that has happening. When my memories are going back and looking back at 80 and 85 and 81. And, you know, if I was in 1985 right now, I would have loved to have the station wagon. Once again, the station wagon with the wood grain. I would have loved to have the Ikegami camera I just showed you a little while ago, the professional broadcast camera with the crew. When I started going out doing production, it was called McDew and Crew. That was my name, McDew and Crew, McDew and Crew. And I kind of changed it a little bit now, or it's Tony McDew and Crew, Tony McDew and Crew. So, yeah, that's where all that came from. I used to go out and do little video production back in the days. Other thing I want to talk about, like I said, this is World Broadcast News too. So I'm going to hit you on a couple of little stories just to let you know that I'm still putting stories out. I'll probably put out a couple news stories tonight too as well. We're going to put this video out late tonight, maybe an hour or so, whatever. But breaking news on some stories that I was kind of sad about. There was a woman in Hawaii. She was murdered by her husband. I was like, wow, very pretty lady. And I was like, wow, what happened to her? She's really pretty. She was like 30 years, 29, 30 years, no, 39. I think she was 39 years old, somewhere around there. And she got murdered by her husband at her job. No, not at her job. She got murdered by her husband at the bank. I think she was at the bank or down the street from the bank. It was really, really horrible in front of her daughter. And her daughter was like 10 years old. So you guys check that out. I'll probably post it again. That kind of hit me hard. I was like, so I wanted to let you guys know to be safe out there because there's a lot of things that's happening. And during this holiday season, as people are getting all kind of crazy, you know, a lot of drunk drivers out there killing people, a lot of all kinds of stuff that's happening. Just be safe, you know, and I just want to give my condolences to those families out there. And a lot of people have lost lives in the last couple days. And I don't want to go into every story. Basketball player, I talked about him, I think, last time. Basketball player in Stockton supposedly murdered a young lady in Las Vegas. Yeah. So that's been a big story for the last couple of days. Very, very sad that that happened. You know, he was involved in some other murder case and she was going to kind of talk about it or something and he killed her. Supposedly him and his girlfriend. Yeah. It was very, very bad. So I'm just thankful to be here another day, the 24th of December, 2023. Okay. Tomorrow to be here, the 25th tomorrow. I'm happy to be here another day. Are we trying to do a lot of big old Christmas things and all that stuff? I told you, like I said, I'm not getting all into that. Everybody's doing their own thing, but I'm not celebrating the holiday, but I'm here. I'm thankful to God to be here another day. So I just want to tell you that because I look at a lot of the days are made up. They are pagan days, and I will put that out there. But to each his own, you know. And I just tell everybody, you know, enjoy your life and everything, but trust in God, trust in the Lord for waking up, for breathing, all these type of things. That's very important. You know, reminiscing, going back and looking at some things you did in the past. You might be proud of it. You might be happy. And another thing about that is that when it all comes down to it, you might have done a lot of different things and you might be proud of a lot of things that you've done and this and that type of thing. But when it comes down to the end, it really doesn't matter because God is he's not looking at all these things that you've accomplished on earth. God's not looking at all these things that you achieved, you know, financial stability. He's not looking at all those things. God's looking at you and what you were supposed to do. What was your mission? What was what did he want you to do? So that's where I am. I want to be faithful. I want to be holy. I want to be right with God when I leave from this earth. I'm 60 years old. Hopefully I make it to 61. If I make it to 61, yeah, you see the grace. I'm keeping it real. You saw the younger Tony McDew. You saw Tony from Cali. You see some of my old videos. That's great. But we're not living forever. I'm watching a lot of old movies right now of a lot of actors and a lot of, I watch a lot of old movies. I just enjoy old movies. Today is movie day for me. And when I watch these movies, these were great actors. They did a lot of things and they accomplished a lot of things and they acquired a lot of wealth. But where are they now? A lot of them are dead. A lot of them are gone. We got actors, we got comedians, we got just regular people. So at the end of the day, be right with God. That's my message for today. Be right with God. I love you guys out there. Peace and love. And once again, don't hate, don't wait, donate. Okay? I took you guys back to 1980, 1985. I'm going to take you guys back even further on some of my next videos. But Right now, it's about, I just wanted to reminisce back to 1985 with the big station wagon. I would love to be able to do that all over again, but I can't. So I'll virtually put it together, you know, do some Photoshop. You see me do some Photoshop. I'm not the best at it. I'll do some Photoshop. I'll virtually put together some of these videos, let you guys see, hey, this is what we got. We got the 1985 station wagon. We got all these different things. But in real, you know, looking at everything realistically, we're just enjoying, I'm just having fun. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm having fun. And once again, don't hate, don't wait, donate. $ Tony McDew. Go to my Cash App. It's $ Tony McDew, because I love you. And we out.